years. We do try to connect with our community, certainly in a different light than what Rotary does, but we do try to be as civically involved with our students. We offer personal safety forums. We offered in the past information nights for parents to know what their children are doing online so that they're safe and not going to be caught up with somebody who's trying to do something that's inappropriate. We do sponsor Game Week. We accept donated computers, refurbish them, and will then put them out to people who can't afford computers. If they're donated to us, we have the ability to fix them. We have kids that actually work on them and fix them, and then hand them over to people that don't have them but can use them. We find it to be a very good service that's certainly been well received within our community. And then ultimately, education, strong finances, connection with our community, and finally, just like any school district, we're on the ballot, and in 2008 we were on the ballot for a levy, and we talked about technology, textbooks, and teaching, and every opportunity we get, we certainly try to communicate with our residents, parents, students, that what we promised in 2008, how are we delivering on those promises and making true to our word? Because we know, as anybody knows, if you go out and say one thing and you do another, don't come back. So we really do make a strong commitment to making sure that we do everything that we say we're going to with the money. Now, switching gears from the points of education, finance, communication, and keeping our promises, we have a bond issue on the ballot, and you're probably seeing a lot of signs start to pop up. We're issue 11, and this is a bond issue. A bond issue is different than an operating levy. An operating levy, which I just spoke of in 2008, that's money that's used to pay salaries, pay for health care, pay for bills such as gas and water and sewer, and all those different types of things. It's how we run the business. And a bond issue, which is what we're seeking this time, is money that's completely dedicated to capital improvements which have a value of more than 5 years. So a bond issue is not used to pay salaries, it's not used to pay health care, it's not used to pay the gas and water bill. Rather, it's used to fix the facilities. So I've been in River now 3 years. Looking back at the bond issue history of Rocky River, about every 10 or so years the community's passed a bond issue, and it's to do major infrastructure improvements. In 1989, a bond issue of about 3.4 mils was passed. Right now that bond issue is collecting at 1.65 and is due to expire in 2011. The other outstanding bond millage that we have on our books is 2.88 mils, and that's for the middle school, and that'll be paid off in 2017. So the Board of Education took into consideration many, many factors, including the economy. Are we starting to see an upswing in the economy? When does a bond issue fall off? Maybe we could see some savings from that position. And right now, if you look at the interest rates that we can get on our money, as well as the cost for construction, I don't think we can get much better because people need the work. And we're going to capitalize on that if we're successful with this bond issue. But the 1989 bond issue, right now we're asking for 3.2 mils. The way we're communicating to our public, though, our residents, is that we're asking for a tax increase of 1.59 mils, which is about $4 per month per 100,000. The $4 per month, the reason we're able to say that is because the 1.65 that's going to fall off in 2011, that amount of the bond issue would not be sold until it actually fell off. So as a resident, as I live here, my tax bill will increase 1.59 mils, knowing that part will fall off and then be put back on at 1.65. Ultimately, it'll generate just under $43 million. Now, each of our buildings, we're going to do a variety of different things. This is Goldwood. The front of it, right on Center Ridge, is what you always see. It's our board offices. It was built in 1927. The additions, where all the kids are at, actually, in Goldwood, there's been 3 additions anywhere from 58 to 1991. I'm going to share pictures with you of things that we're going to do across the district. I'm not going to show you every crack we have in the concrete or every crack we have in a driveway, but this is an example of concrete work. We need to take out sections, put new ones in, make them handicap accessible. We need to do masonry work across the district. Masonry work is not because the buildings haven't been taken care of. They have. They're just to the point, if you own a brick home, you'll know many times you have to do tuck pointing work that just needs to be done. And that's some of the work that we need to do will get done. We're also going to be getting replacement windows, putting in double paned windows, better insulation ultimately, and removing the single paned windows. And then finally at Kensington, Goldwood, and the high school, each one of those buildings will get a new roof. And this is an example of a flat roof. If you have a flat roof, you'll certainly understand this story. The winters in Cleveland and the summers in Cleveland, we have, hot summers, cold winters. The roofs themselves expand and contract. They also puddle because they're flat, because it's not perfect as they drain. Ultimately what happens is you get seams in your flat roofs. And when you get seams, you have to cut them out. And you can see over here, I don't think my pointer's reaching, no, there it is. You can see right here, this is an area that we've cut out, and this is an area that needs to be cut out. The reason we do it is because inside the building, you get a lot of water damage if you don't. We have different membranes on each one of the layers of the roof. And if there's a leak at the top layer, the rubber layer, that's where you have water come in. For the same reasons we want to replace the roofs in our schools, the same reasons you'd replace a roof in your house. If you have a leak in your roof in your house, you're going to fix it because you don't want it to do damage inside. Ultimately, with Goldwood, we'd like to refurbish the second grade wing. We know it's much cheaper to put in new switches, new lights, new ceiling, and new carpeting than it is to build a new building. So we're looking to renovate the second grade wing, and we also put money in to add 4 new classrooms for all-day, everyday kindergarten. Now, the board has said if the law changes in all-day, everyday kindergarten, that mandate is revoked, and we don't have to do it. We're going to maintain our half-day, everyday program, but we won't sell that part of the bond issue. So for taxpayers, for residents, instead of it being about $4 per month per 100,000, it'll be about $3.85 per 100,000 because we wouldn't sell that section of the bond issue. And that'll be determined if the governor changes the law. Kensington was built in 1926. It's had 3 additions. It houses our students in grades 3 through 5. Here's a nice example in this picture. You can see the new section and you can see the old section. The old section's fine. It just needs some tuck pointing work, and it needs, if you got really close to this picture, you could see where there's some masonry work that really needs done. There's masonry work that needs done throughout the parking lot and the sidewalks there. Ultimately, what we'd like to do with Kensington is move the office to the first floor, or to the bottom floor in the front of the building. So when parents come in, they have to come into the office. It's a secured entrance, which right now we're on the first floor in the middle of the building. So people are walking down the halls and going up the stairs, and that's not what we would like to see with the security of our building. Would also like to take the auditorium, which is in Kensington, and turn it into a cafetorium, just like we have at the middle school, so the students can eat there, they can have music class there. It can be used for performances there because we're keeping the stage. We're also going to put a new heating system in there, new windows on the old section of Kensington, and a new roof. And we're also going to expand the library. Now here's a picture of the cafetorium. If you've been in the auditorium at all at Kensington, this is the stage. We're going to remove the floor, make it level, and then we'll be able to use it for a multi-purpose area. Library, we're going to expand it and create additional individual instruction areas.